Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, whichever part of the world you're in. I am Yogesh Kapoor, and I'll be hosting this interview today at the Ultimate Live with the founder of Ultimate Retreats, Christina Will Spears. Christina, welcome to your own show.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome for having me, or thank you for having me.
So, Christina, it's been a while since we've gone live together, haven't we?
Yeah, quite a bit. But we don't normally interview each other. We normally interview other people or we have other topics. So this is kind of new and fun for us.
Exactly. It's so impromptu.
Yes, yes. I'm kind of
So,
excited.
me too, me too. I've never really asked you questions. I realized that this week. So I was like, oh my God, how come I haven't interviewed Christina? So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we normally ask other people questions because we're so busy getting ready for an event or the retreat or doing something that's our focus, and that's always a good focus, you know.
Exactly, exactly. I wanted to get to know what's been happening. What's been happening with you, Christina, in the past year and this year, especially. We're already into the almost the third month of January. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, this year has been extremely transformational. It started probably with last year's retreat. I knew, you know, several years before we had it, I had been getting downloads. I had to go to Arizona and do this retreat and everything. But I look back and as we were getting ready to do this live this week, I realized when we were getting ready to do it, it took us almost almost a year to get ready for it. It was so new that I really didn't know what I was doing when I was starting it. I just knew that I was following my intuition by going forward and doing it. And so, as we did that, we all grew so much by getting together, um, by learning through each other, but by even just going through the process of doing it. And so we learned what we wanted to take away and what we wanted to release, or what we wanted to continue forward. And there was so much growth in that, just a tremendous amount of growth. And while I was doing that, I was also going through the last of master, my Lightworker master certification at the same time. And I was just at the beginning part of that. But as I continued with that, I have used a lot of the information to start with little tidbits on Tree of Life Reiki. And we've really started to talk about like inner child healing. I'm bringing in the divine feminine, the divine masculine. We've been working through some of this stuff in our events. We're starting to bring in all of that in the retreats. And through all that, I've been doing a lot of healing in myself, because in order to do any of those retreats, any of those events, you have to do it yourself first. And so there was a lot of stuff that we have worked through as coaches, as healers, even before those events and retreats, that was extremely transformational, um, behind the scenes. And that was extremely powerful. And now I can feel that happening again this spring with all of us. And it's so magical. It's so magical.
I totally agree with you on that. When I look back, it's almost been a year to the retreat, and just that process of you starting it and getting all of us together, and the meetings every Sunday, and it's funny because I had put a vision board that I was going to be part of a retreat in Arizona. And even though I couldn't physically come there because of COVID and everything, but I was there online, and just that journey, when the retreat happened and how it was happening and the excitement that was involved. There was a lot of magic in that retreat itself. I mean, we had 10, 12 of us. I can't remember the exact numbers. I think 13 of us,
Yeah.
speakers as well. But just attending those meetings, and then the retreat happened, and then staying up all night for the retreat, and you know all of that is just so amazing, and hats off to you to bring all of us together. And as I look at a lot of the people who attended that retreat, they've grown so much. uh, but you said you follow your intuition so much. Your intuition told you to do this retreat. So
Yeah.
what does your intuition say now for this year?
Well, this year it's showing me that a lot of these different healers, light workers, coaches are going to be, at least for the first 6 months, maybe even eight, are going to be really coming up and showing who they are on an individual level and exploring that. So you're going to see more and more of them standing in their own power and showing their own platforms. And as they've shown me, that a lot of my role is to support them. And so I've been supporting them, showing all these different people coming up. But I've also been shown to spread my own wings. And so I've been working on creating a really pure pillar for myself and making sure I'm very grounded so I can not only be there for myself, but also do coaching. I'm doing establishing more coaching and the groups, but I'm also going to be doing small retreats. And instead of doing like a large retreat with a lot of people, it's going to be more intimate, and we're going to be doing a lot more hands on um, activations and really working deep with different modalities and healing. And I've been really called to do this with different, and as we do this, this year it's going to kind of like show the blueprint for it to spread out into it happening with other retreats in further years, if that makes sense. There's going to be other I there I'm trying to get the name, or it's there's going to be like it's either a name or a theme for other ones that are going to be downloaded. But right now, it's very prominent that the divine feminine, that I activate that with women, because as I do that, naturally, the divine masculine is going to activate. Even though I will be working with the divine masculine with women in these retreats, but there's going to be a divine masculine activation occurring because it's a polarity, it's a yin and a yang. So as this happens, the divine masculine energy is going to be activating and appearing as well.
uh, since you mentioned you'll be doing a women's retreat, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, I know it's going to be a 3-day retreat in Colorado, and well, this is the first one. I can feel that there's going to be more coming, but the first one has been very definitely told to me that it's embracing the divine feminine, the divine love in us, and feeling all of those love codes in us, and really bringing that in, grounding that in. And we're going to really activate that with all kinds of different ways, activations. And it's going to be a very small, intimate retreat of women. So there's only going to be maybe 10 women for the whole thing. So it's going to be really we're going to have this very small, safe space for us to interact and get to know each other in our own unique way and really embrace that inner love with us and be able to be ourself and truly love ourself the way we have always meant to, in a goddess way, in a priestess way.
That sounds very powerful when you said it,
Yes.
you know, especially when women are in their goddess form, right? It makes such a difference. Like you said, it activates the divine masculine as well, but we need that divine femininity to come out. So it sounds so interesting, this retreat. Too bad I'm not a woman, but
If you were, you would be there. But I do know that there's going to be, I can feel masculine retreats coming, and I just for men, and I feel like that's going to be, I'm going to be supporting, I won't be there, but I'll be supporting them from the background. Because I can feel this is going to be very prevalent. It's going to be needed just as much as those divine feminine retreats. We're going to embrace and empower the divine masculine energies as well. And just because it's a divine feminine retreat does not mean we are not going to have divine masculine energy within us, because we have to have both to be truly connected. It's not that we're not going to be connecting with the divine masculine as well. Um, we are just going to be embracing the divine priestess within us. But when there's, I have definitely felt that there is going to be a masculine retreat coming um, along the way. This is just as much needed, and
I agree with you.
for the
I
same
look
reason.
forward to being part of it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because that is just as powerful, if not more so. I mean, men need to understand they're very powerful. You know, there's a lot of things in society that tell men, "Oh, you can't do this or you can't do that," just as much as there is with women. Oh, women, keep your emotions at to a certain degree, or you're too emotional. Well, there is with men as well. And so I think there's should be a space for men to be able to get together safely and just express how they feel and discuss those things and work through those things with each
Totally
other.
agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. You mentioned a little bit about that you'll be also coaching this year, and I've had a few sessions with you, not in full coaching form, but you've done a few quantum healing sessions with me. You are also a light worker. You've taken the light worker certification. So how does all of this help you in your coaching?
That's a good question. um, I love your questions, Yogesh. Um, it's really interchangeable because what I do is I usually work with the person and figure out what their needs are, and then I connect with all kinds of different modalities. It's not just one, unless they're coming to me for a specific session. Like if it's quantum healing or something, then of course we're going to use quantum healing. But for the coaching, a lot of times I will give them, we'll do an activation at the beginning, and then they'll discuss with me, okay, this is what's going on in their life. Say they're having problems with energy, and then we'll discuss all kinds of different ways for them to work with that. And I'll give them maybe 3 4 different ways for them to use, and then they choose what works best for them. So, and because I have had those different issues in the past, I kind of tune in to that person sometimes and figure out what their what part of their energy field or their chakras or what's going on, and then we figure out from there. Sometimes it's something really simple, like they just need to put on a shield or cut cords with Michael at night or something like that. Sometimes it's they need to work on like their belief systems and release patterns or that have been connected with like ancestral stuff, and so then they choose what is right for them, and there's ways to do that as well. And that's where there's like in the group, I have groups where they show different posts, and then they can look at those posts and receive the education to follow up to see what aligns with them for their highest good. So it's kind of a combination. So we'll discuss the different ways that they can do that. That
Nice.
makes
You know, a lot of people talk about healing modalities, and you've done this with me. You've used the quantum healing with me, where you can, go into another dimension and cure things. But for those people who don't really understand all these, light worker terms and all, could you explain it in a more easier way?
Okay, quantum healing is basically where we use it's the quantum. I have two types of quantum I use. So quantum healing is as I use I connect with the quantum, which is basically the Akashic records and or the energy of all of our energy, and I can receive information. And that is basically, I'm doing it through kinesiology and Chinese medicine. And I connect with like the energy of the vibration, if that makes sense. So I connect with I ask to tap in to your energy field, and you have to allow me to do that by, we you put your finger on your midrin line, and I we tap in together, and by doing that then you're allowing me to tap in to the quantum field for you, and then I can connect with your belief systems. I can connect with your um, all the viruses that are going on through you. We can release viruses. I can see if there's molds, bacterias, um, pathogens that need to be released. We can connect with, I mean, it's basically, I can do a whole CAT scan of your body, checking your teeth, your brain, your all of your glands, everything. We go through and see, and then we can connect and make sure it's all on point and align everything as well, because a lot of times there's physical, mental, and emotional issues. And so if you have a mental or a emotional issue, it will put something physically out of alignment to tell you, hey, something's wrong here. And that's how your subconscious lets you know. So if you have a pain in your body, your subconscious is letting you know, hey, something's wrong here. So anytime I have a pain, I know there's some sort of something is out of alignment. For many years, I didn't understand that, and I would walk around in pain for 20 plus years. But it's because I did that, that I can intuitively connect with different types of pain so into so closely, and understand, oh, it's this pain or it's that pain, it's this part of the body, and I can figure it out so fast.
Wow, that's deep. That's
Well,
really deep when you say you can connect to the organs and, so many other aspects of uh, the human body. It's really interesting. And I mean, I've had your session, so I know.
yeah.
Um, But to the listener, it would be like, oh my God, there's so much involved in this, and I'm assuming it takes a lot of energy to do this.
It depends on how many blocks the person has. If they have a lot of subconscious blocks, then yes, it does take energy from you. And the person receiving it, is going to be tired and thirsty afterwards because they're moving energy, and they'll feel it for anywhere between right at that time to several days, even a week or two after. And I will feel it right at that time. I feel it right away, all the way for about 24 hours because, so I only do a couple of sessions a day. My master, he does several a day, and his master does even more than that because as you build up, you can build up your energy to doing it.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
And usually, how long do these sessions last?
They last usually between an hour, hour and a half. But if you are someone with chronic pain or a chronic condition, then it could be up to like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And normally, how many sessions does a person need? I know it depends case to case, but on average, that the people you have healed.
Yeah. That really depends on what you're putting on the field. You can really choose any sort of pain, any sort of thing you're wanting to manifest because the quantum realm is infinite. And we'd heal it in the now. The thing is the more you have blocks, the more you're going to need to work on it. So it's kind of like um, the way it was described to me by I received a download quite a while ago. Is it's like you are creating a path. And so the first time you go in, you are making like a path in the weeds. And the next time you go in, you're making a dirt path. The third, and then you're making a actual a road. And then eventually it becomes uh, like a regular street, and eventually you can make it so it's like a highway.
Wow.
So it just depends on what you're trying, or not in trying, what you're intending to heal, manifest, connect with. So sometimes you only need a couple sessions, but sometimes if you have had a lot to heal, then you're going to want to do this over and over. And with myself, I knew I had a lot to heal. I had a lot of like ancestral healing. And so that's why I was like, sign me up. you know, I'm when I started receiving these sessions, I was like, I need to learn how to do this. And so it wasn't just receiving the sessions, I needed to learn. And I just knew right away. So
Nice.
it was one of those things. And so my master does free group sessions like every so often, and he teaches, and then it's out of Hawaii, and then they certify it. The thing is the certifications. One certification is about 6 to 9 months of
Oh,
class.
wow.
It's not it's not a short certification, and that would just be for you to practice level one. Level two is another like 6 to 9 months of class, and then there's a level three which I'm right about to be at. But
Oh,
it
nice.
takes a long time. It takes a couple of years, and you have certification tests in between and stuff to do.
I see a question there by Kel Monroe. She's asking, what about very lucid nightmares every night?
That is a good question. Something is trying to tell you something. If it feels like you,
I'm wondering, is the question asking about healing or asking in general? I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah. Oh, put that on here.
But anyways, let's just
Yeah,
address
I'll have
loosening up.
to think about that because it feels like your subconscious is trying to talk. I mean, obviously, every time you go to sleep, your subconscious is talking to you. So if you're having nightmares every night, then there's something that you're blocked or you're afraid of, or that. So there's ways to talk to that side while you're awake to communicate and release those fears if you're interested.
I hope that answers your question,
Yeah,
Kel.
you can do that through a couple different ways through, but it's mostly quantum. You would do a quantum session, QHHT or Q or quantum healing.
So coming back to you, Christina, lots of people in them, lots must be spirit guides and ancestors. That's what Kel says.
Okay. Otherwise, and if it's feeling like that, you might even be able to do it with an activation. So,
So yeah, Kel, you might want to reach out to Christina, and she can help you with this. Some I don't have much knowledge on this subject, but um, coming back to you, Christina. So you've also started this uh, ultimate retreat group where you're showcasing a lot of speakers. Tell us a little bit about that.
uh, that I when I first started getting the downloads about these retreats, I could see all kinds of different healers, light workers, and just spiritual workers coming together. It was just like it almost felt like a field of them, and they were all together. We were all showing each other different ways to heal, different ways to connect with source, different ways to align. And it every time I see it, that's what it is. And so I have always been told that we are always stronger together. When we bring our energy up high, that we are always one. And so that is what Ultimate Retreats is always about, is coming together and showing different modalities and being connected as one. So whether you align with me and my modalities, or you align with one of the other light workers or healers or speakers, that's perfectly fine in what it's supposed to do, because we're all just spokes in the same wheel. We're all here to show you different aspects of ways to connect with source. And that's that's truly what it's all about, is coming together as one.
Nice. That's really nice. I guess the whole concept of oneness, that's what you're talking about, where
Exactly.
we realize that we are all one. We're not like separate from each other. Obviously, we represent different formalities, different energies, different modules, but end of the day, we all come from that one source and oneness. And Louisa says, "Hi, hey Christina, I've missed this ill rematch. I'm seeing people changing. It's amazing. They're waking. R can't make this retreat. Top much going on. If you do next year, I'll come. Could you send me a link to the online courses you're doing, please?" Okay, so yeah, you can. Speaking of online courses, uh, what online courses do you do, Christina?
I am doing ascension coaching, which is one on one. And then I am doing the group coaching. In the group coaching, we meet once a week and we do activations, and then we do the coaching, and like a we have a group that shows all kinds of different information. I usually have different meditations and stuff in there. And right now we're concentrating on two things. We're reading the book Think and Grow Rich, and so we're learning it. And it really, it reminded me as I was talking to the group yesterday, Think and Grow Rich is really a different way to look at um, quantum physics. It's like quantum physics before they knew quantum physics. It's a really
Before they
cool.
before they had a title to the concept, right? That's what.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
get what you're saying.
exactly. So we have that, we're talking about that on this side, and then we're doing Reiki right now, Reiki 1, and we are doing activations, and we're always talking about different types of trauma healing in that group. We do a lot of different things. We're doing herbal healing. We've been talking about herbal healing, so that's the group. And then ascension coaching is more geared for the individual, so we just do one-on-one, and it's really to get you where you're interested in going, um, releasing all those cords, those attachments, and clearing your own pillar, helping you find what it is that you need to connect with source, to ground yourself really richly, and to find what you're interested in, all your gifts, and open up all those things for yourself. And both of them are designed so you can basically um, build your own modalities and then move on. It's not for you to like have to stay there, and it's for you to grow and then be able to move on.
Louisa is saying, I want one on one. First, how much, Christina? Sorry for the autocorrect. Yes, it's always been lol. Whoop. I want to do the quantum and Reiki. Love your energy. I've been doing etheric cord meditation. It would be helpful. Louisa, I
Okay.
think Christina will reach out to you privately, unless Christina, you wanna.
No, I'll message her afterwards. That'd be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
No, I was thinking if you want to shamelessly promote yourself, it's fine.
No. Yeah, so that's basically what I do for those two. And then occasionally I will have things like the quantum coaching, that's an 8-week course, or the Lightworker certification course. And that's like anywhere between 6 months to a year. It's a very in depth course, because you're receiving the certification. And so those are my two other courses. Other than that, I do events and retreats, and then the quantum. Yeah,
Yeah, I know about the events. I mean, I was part of like what, three of them?
at least I think more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I stopped counting because we were having one every month,
yeah,
and it was just fun. It was so much fun. I mean, because for me it was late night, so it was, I don't know how to explain it, but and I just enjoy speaking. So, uh,
yeah. You do a really good job at speaking and hosting. So, and you've gone through a lot this year as well. We'll do one next week, and interview you, Yogesh, because
oh,
I
that's
have
fine. That's
I
fine.
have things to ask for you. But yeah, so this year there's been a lot that's gone by, but it's been extremely rewarding. As I have gone through different levels of healing myself, it's peeled back different layers. And that's always the purpose, isn't it? And then I just show those different layers and different aspects.
It's funny you mentioned this because yesterday I was part of a mastermind, and the question was, what can you do that will help your family even more? And the first thing that came up to my mind was I can heal myself, right? Because when you heal yourself, not just when I say heal myself on a certain aspect, but on every aspect that needs healing, right? There's so much, like we always need healing. It's
Yeah,
never over, right? So, like you said, peeling the layers one by one, and it affects the person in front of you a lot. And which brings me to my next question. You've been through a lot. We've spoken about this one to one where you had a stroke a
yeah,
while ago, and recently also you had some health issues, which you didn't talk about publicly, but sorry for bringing it up.
that's
Uh, how 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 did you heal yourself?
that is a good question. The biggest source of healing besides meditation and stuff has been my mind. I always connect with the energy. I always think about the best thought possible, and that is always what pushes me. You know, in this situation, I instead of thinking about all these worst case scenario stuff, because that's what I used to do a long time ago, and I would sit in that place of pain for years. But somehow when I experienced my stroke, what happened was I was like, I am going to get through this because I have gone through all kinds of other pain. I've dealt with that. And if I can deal with that pain, I can deal with this. I don't know how I'm going to get through it, but I am. And it's going to make me stronger. And I would just tell myself that minute by minute. And as I told myself that, it would happen. It would push me through that moment of those really peaks of intense pain. I This was before I knew to call on my angels. When I experienced my health problem recently, I called on my angels and my spirit guides, and I could feel them working. I um, I ended up having emergency surgery recently, and the last thing I saw before I went under was my angels, and it was Archangel Michael. He was there. I mean, I didn't see anything else. I saw Archangel Michael so prevalent as I was going under, and I knew I was okay.
Mm,
And it was kind of a risky, it was emergency surgery, but I knew I was going to be okay because I was completely surrounded by my angels. And in the previous surgeries, I would get very emotional, get scared because I had, fear of going under. This one, I was not. I felt completely safe because I had that connection. It was the first time I'd had a connection with source and with my spirit guides, and it was completely different.
nice. I
Yeah,
love the way you put that. I love the way you put that. That's very powerful. Kel says, yes, please message me afterwards. Also,
I will.
Louisa said, I'd like to do this light worker also. I can do retreats after Xmas. I'm absolutely gutted. I can't come UK, small baby. And Louisa again says, yes, everything starts with self. I've had a stroke too, so sorry. And Louisa says, positivity kept me alive. I almost lost it Belief kept me going. Now it's all coming out, the truth.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being so vulnerable, Louisa, over here. Christina,
Yeah.
I've suffered things that I really couldn't go through anything worse. I am grateful for my lessons. I died spiritually, but was reborn. You helped me at Xmas. I asked for a sign, found you, and you were going to pull a card for someone else, and you pulled the crystal cave for me. Thank you.
You're
Thank you, Christina.
welcome. Very welcome.
It's moments like these that that light us up.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that things happen for a reason. Things truly happen for a reason. And I didn't understand why I'd experienced those strokes. I didn't understand why I'd gone through all this different stuff. And then as I was going through my Lightworker certification, you know, my masters kept giving me things like Napoleon Hill to read. And I was really drawn to quantum. And that's when I started looking into quantum, and I knew I had to become a practitioner myself. And so I started going into becoming, going through the courses at the same time as finishing my light worker. And that's when in order to become one, oh, the snow, in order to become one, you have to go through quantum sessions yourself. And it was when I was going under my own that I asked my higher self, well, why did I experience these things? And my higher self told me that I did it to myself. I did gave myself that stroke,
Wow.
and I broke my own neck. I did all that stuff. And as I started at first I was like, what are you talking about? But then as it started to set in, I started to understand. And that's when I started to appreciate things with a whole new perspective. And I started to really be able to love my life.
Wow. Louisa says, I love you. Yes, bring us back to self. Louisa again says, when you realize there's a mission, we're all on, and stop seeing the world as bad. And I don't mind being vulnerable and around beautiful people. Thank you. I understand what you mean. I do. Gives us gratitude.
Yeah. After you've experienced something really crazy, you start to really understand. And then I started to spend time in my garden and stuff, and little things like the hummingbirds and, uh, my wind chimes chiming and stuff started to really make me extremely happy. And that's when I started to really start feeling aligned and connected.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's amazing, right? The journey we have to go through to get to where we are.
it really is. It really truly is.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
We you mentioned a while ago. I'm drifting a little here.
No problem.
Uh, about the amount of impressions you get on your pages and groups. What's the highest number of impressions you've got?
I'm not sure. I think recently it was like I had a post that got like 135,000 likes or something like that. And it's all about love, because
Wow.
when it comes down to it, everyone is we we desire love. And that's really what, when we go to source, when we connect with the quantum, we are connecting with divine love. And that's that high frequency that I really intend for everyone to feel, because when we are extremely happy and just in joy as a child, we feel that freedom and love, safety. And that's where we really should, I intend for all people to feel, because that when we feel that, that's alignment, feeling that for ourselves. It's so easy to give that to other people, but feeling it for yourself.
I
And
know.
and so it's, and I think the post was something about giving it talking to your child that way. Well, it's, and many times our our beliefs, our wounds start in the first 7 years of our childhood. So if we can talk to our children with that divine love and instill that in that first 7 years, then we clear that pillar and we activate it for this divine love to instill for the new generation, and we create the new generation to have the ability to be in alignment for, to feel that and have that be their essence. And that's what the new earth truly is our children and us feeling that divine love in all aspects.
I'm feeling bliss while you're speaking.
I'm so happy. I'm glad that you are.
The way you put it, I'm feeling so like, oh, I'm just, the energy around me is already changing.
Yeah, because that's really, I mean, everyone should to be activated with that beautiful energy of love and peace and freedom, is that's what it's all about. And for themselves, you know.
Yeah, it all starts with self-love, self-healing, self, right? I mean, this we're in the month of February. It's the month of love. Um,
Yes.
it's a month of putting ourselves first.
Yes. And as we do that, then we have so much to just give to others automatically. And what we give will automatically be the excess of what we are giving to ourselves. So it's going to be that divine love. We're just automatically overfill, pouring out that excess divine love.
Yeah, you have to have your cup full, and when the
Exactly.
cup is full, you overflow.
Exactly. So we just fill our own cup with that beautiful energy, and then that's what I see.
Wow, 135,000 posts. I need to I need to start showcasing myself on your pages.
Well, you are right now.
Well, I mean, with my stuff, what I do, right? Not just me showing up. Uh,
No,
I mean, I mean, I mean, for those who want to showcase themselves, I think that's a good idea. Don't you think so?
well, yeah, and well, that's what Ultimate Retreats is really all about. And when you become a member, we teach you, or I show you all kinds of different ways to boost your own algorithm, so you can do that. And that's really what it's about, because in the end, we're all one. We're all connected. So that's what I truly believe, as we're all, you know, part
We
of
are.
one another. And
Yeah.
so, and it is funny because I can feel that energy, so intently. The more I put my intent into it, the more I can feel it. And so I really, yeah, I really believe that the more we give each other that intention of unity and grace, the more it spreads.
You mentioned about becoming a member of Ultimate Retreats. How does one become a member?
Well, I usually, there's at the bottom of Ultimate Retreats website, you can sign up for a clarity call or an introduction call, something like that. I'll have to look at what it says. But at the very bottom, you can sign up. It's a free call, and you just connect with me, and then I tell you about Ultimate Retreats, what we offer, and then we let you come into the group for a month. You can try to see, visit with everyone. You can post in the group event light, our group. And then when you meet us at the meeting for the first time, you are voted in. We vote you in. And then you can officially start doing everything on the page as well as the group. And we have a place on the website that you can put your information, your own website link, or any other link that a different link that you want on the website, as well as a short bio or information about yourself on the website. And like if you're doing an event, a retreat, a workshop or something, we can also showcase that on the website as well. So, and then we do that also on the page and in the group and stuff. So,
Louisa has a question. Do we do this separate times because I'd need to travel?
most of the stuff for Ultimate Retreats is virtual, unless you would prefer it to be in person. We do probably 99% of everything virtual for Ultimate Retreats. All of our meetings, everything are virtual, and that all of that is virtual. The only thing that are not virtual is our retreats. So, and then you choose if you're going to be a part of the retreat or not. So,
Yeah, she says I could do that.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And that's, yeah. So,
What's
what were you going to say?
No, no, it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were going to say
And
something.
that's really, it's really geared to accent different light workers, healers, coaches, anyone who is ready to show their modality or show something that they would like to offer on a regular basis to others. And we are here to support you in doing that, and
Hope that answered all your questions, Louisa. You can reach out to Christina or she'll reach out to you, whichever way it goes. So we're at the top of the hour. What's your word for this year, Christina?
Oh, that's a good question. It's probably a two word, but it's probably been divine love so far,
Oh,
has
wow.
been my word for this year. And it came in like in December, around December time. And I've just been at it. I don't know why, but it just came in really strong. And so I was just activated for divine love. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've been using that word a lot. And
Well,
it's just been my word. Yeah. Um,
well, it's
I also,
evident, right? It's evident in your pages getting 135,000 likes. You're
yeah,
aligned, you're overflowing, and it's just falling into place.
yeah. There's a couple other words, but I really love divine love. The other is probably Christ consciousness, sovereignty. There's a few other words that I really love, but those are my. I really could eat them up.
I get it.
you
I get it.
know, Yeah. Yeah, those are probably, and I could feel the colors and the codes to them. It, yeah,
Wow.
they're beautiful.
You told me when you pulled a card for me that I'd activate all my beautiful gifts this month. You said, Source said, I'm a beautiful rainbow. I feel it. Thank you. The best message I had three that day. Thank you sincerely.
Very welcome. I was, I'm going to quick pull a card for everyone today, and I don't know what it is. Obviously, I don't know what it is. Oops. I was told to grab it's the quantum oracle. Okay, here we go. It's happy success.
Oh, wow.
And I feel that is coming in, it's like April, by April, all the way to August, but it's especially April to July, like by and it's like this joy and flow energy, even a little bit of like peace. It just feels like sunshine. That's what it's coming in. It's just all these, that's what it feels like. It's just like when you sit outside on a really sunny like a warm sunny day, and you just feel all those like feelings from the sun coming down on you, and it just feels so good. It just feels so peaceful and calming and loving from that energy. There's no place to go, nothing you have to do. You just feel this element of flow and peace and love. That's what it is for those months. Feels very beautiful.
Wow. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Yes. So
Thank you so much, Christina, for today. I think
thank
we're
you.
not done. There's still so many more questions I have for you, but we'll continue hopefully next week. But
Okay.
thank you so much for coming on today at a very short notice. I really enjoyed this and I look forward to doing this again.
Yeah, I look forward to talking to you again. You take care, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. You too. Bye, everyone. Take care.